Hey, this is Unlock Your eBay Entrepreneur, the fourth edition for the May series coming up on the Memorial Day. So I'm going to shout out and give everybody a happy Memorial Day going into the Memorial Day weekend. And we're going to kick things off with the eBay Entrepreneur class teaching how to make your first $1,000. Your two hosts are David Allen and then D Mathis with Shoe Solution 6. And as always, I'm gonna pass the mic to my partner D Mathis and let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you, everybody, for watching the Zoom and the recordings. If you're not on it live, my name is D Mathis. I'm one of the experts in this field because I've been doing it over 10 years. I also have 15,000 transactions and over 5,000 feedbacks, or AKA reviews. So me and David are teaching people how to make their first $1,000. We're going to get started soon.
This is David Allen with We Buy iPhones LLC. We buy and we sell tens of thousands of electronics. I use eBay as a cross channel, meaning I use it as a method to sell all my unwanted items. So I may get some items that my buyers may not be interested in, some real badly cracked. It may be some Androids. It may even be some Dyson vacuums, and they looking at me with a crazy look. So instead of them looking at me with a crazy look, I take them same items, I put them on eBay, and then I use that as a source or a channel to resell my other items. So that way I don't have items that are just sitting, or that way I'm not taking lowball offers, because the biggest thing in this business of arbitrage and reselling online, one man's junk is another man's treasure. What one person may not want, the next person will. So we're trying to position you, teach you, and educate the audience on how to take items that you may not be able to resell in person or at your local flea market, post them online, and then that way they can sell digitally. So we're going to start with hot ticket eBay items, the ones that sell fast, how to effectively sell fast moving items. We'll touch on the categories, the different categories, how to maximize sales potential through competitive. So let's say, give it an example. You're selling a brand new iPhone on eBay. You want to make sure that it moves fast because this is a high demand item. You understand? High demand, low supply. Good price, fast movers. I'm going to say that again. High demand, low price. High demand, low price. Oh my God, I'm getting my words twisted. But pretty much, if you got an item that is in high demand, that means people want it. If you got an item that is priced at a good price, not overpriced, not underpriced, because if it's underpriced, it's going to sell immediately because you underbid yourself. If it's overpriced, people may not be interested in overpaying for the item, depending on the demand. But if you have an item that is priced just right, or even priced below, let's say $5 to $10 below market value, they usually sell out. That is an easy way to sell items. So back to the example, you can optimize your listing by including specific details, competitive pricing, and then fast and free shipping. Those are three things that you can do. So you can be as descriptive in your specification as possible. You can have a competitive pricing, and then you can have fast and free shipping. So this weekend, previous weekend, my friend, his birthday is coming up. He's a big fan of the Bulls. He's a huge fan of the Bulls. So what I did, being that he's one of my guys, for his birthday, I went on eBay, because again, I'm an eBay seller. I'm an eBay buyer. I support my other eBay sellers. I went on eBay. I found some vintage, meaning some memorabilia, clothes, hats from the 1990s, that original, before the NBA transitioned to Nike. They were using starter and nutmeg. So I got him some original vintage stuff. So that way for his birthday, he getting him some one-of-a-kind gear. He can't go to the store. He can't go to the mall and cop this. This is one of a kind. However, one of the items that I had bought him was poorly described. The item said that it was in good condition, but this item had stains on it. You could tell it had like forehead sweat. It had like brown around the hat rim. And again, it wasn't detailed right. The price was decent, the fast and free shipping. But if you have a fast moving item, you want to make sure it moves fast and it stays in the customer's hands. I can go on with hot ticket items all day. Anything you want to add?
Well, it kind of go along with the topic, but it's off just a little bit. So just one of my hacks when I do the pricing, eBay will give you an indicator what price you should price it at. And to me, my opinion is it works and sometimes it's off. So if it looks close, what I do is I lower my price by 1 penny or $1, depending on what the issue is. So, you know, it might be $16.90. That's what eBay may send as an indicator of what you should price the item is. So I may do $16.89. So it's just a small hack that kind of put me a little bit in front of someone else or a little bit of edge and don't lose any money.
I really, really like that. Well, hot ticket eBay items, your best bet is to keep in contact, keep a solid grasp of market research, meaning what items do you see people buying out? When you go to your stores, what items do you see that are not on the shelves? What item, when you look on your social media, what items do you see people talking about? What items do you see people wearing? These are hot items. These are items that people are searching for. If you can get items that are with a high demand, high demand with a low supply and price it right, you'll sell out. Because in this business, if you get 20 items that you can sell for $50, that's your first 1,000. So the only thing you got to do is just find one item that you can get 20 of that you can sell for 50, or even vice versa. If you can get one item, list that on eBay that you could sell 50 times for $20, this is your first $1,000. And we're trying to get you in the mindset of how easy and how methodical that it can be to make your first $1,000 when you get these hot items. Next topic, once you get those hot items, making sure that it gets to the appropriate customer. The easiest way to make sure it gets to the appropriate customer is making sure that you put it in the appropriate packaging and then put the label on right. The last thing that you want to do is to put a flimsy label on. Put a label on with one piece of tape. So now as it's going through the sort center, it may get removed. You may put a label on and it may not have the appropriate address because you may have had, again, you had 50 items and you mislabeled. You put one label on the wrong package. So now the incorrect person is getting the right package and the right package is going to the incorrect person. So the easiest thing to do is to avoid shipping mistakes is check your labels, make sure you put it on right. I am very, 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 very meticulous on making sure that when I put them labels on, that it's taped. It's thoroughly taped. If the box may get there damaged, but that label gonna be on there. That box may get there damaged, but that it's gonna be thoroughly packaged. So that way I can minimize my returns. I've had buyers who tell me I package my items too tight. I put too much packaging in it, that it was an issue with them getting it, but they ain't never told me that the item was damaged. So in relation to that, when you're printing shipping labels at home, it saves you time and money by investing in a solid printer. It could be a regular at-home printer and you use copy paper. You can easily print out labels, put them on your box, get them in and out. This can make the shipping process faster for you instead of going to the USPS, waiting in line all day, especially if it's a local USPS, one that's in the neighborhood and everybody go to. You easily spend an hour, if not 2 hours, trying to go through, package, print, and wait, when only thing that you got to do, get them labels, print it at home, put it on the box, drop it off. Plus, that way you really won't have to wait in those long lines. And this is something that I wish I had known in my eBay journey. Just make sure you have enough ink and paper before you start printing. You got some info on that, D?
Yeah, I mean, you wrapped it up and you killed this one. You know, only thing I'm gonna add, because once you get started making your first $1,000, then you want to start just bulk buying your supplies. You know, instead of one pack of copy paper, you might buy 2 at a time. Same thing with tape. You just like doubling, tripling up ink, and not go to Walmart and buy 1 ink at a time. Like, go ahead and get you a 3-pack, right? When you get down to 1, that means you need to buy 2 more. So, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I had to stop in the middle of what I'm doing to go make a run to go get some ink. So that's my tip for the day when it comes to shipping labels.
He says that, and what tickles me is it'd be that again, you got your 20 items your printer ink done ran out on that 17th item, come that 18th print label. Now it's like this gray ink. And then on the 19th label, now it's blotch and you barely can see. You're just trying to get the labels on the box, get them into the post office. But it's hard for the postmaster to scan it because the ink didn't go through. And all that could have been avoided by just having your shipping supplies on you. And I say that as somebody that happens a lot. Sometimes I may even shake the printer ink if I only got like one label left, just to avoid having to stop what I'm doing to go to the store. And there's been times where I've had to stop what I'm doing just to go to Office Depot, Office Max, just to get the print supplies. And then there's been times where, as D mentioned, you need to stock up, because the same way how you may be out of stock, they may be out of stock. So you go to Office Depot, lo and behold, that specific printer ink that you need is no longer there. So it's like, what do you do? And that could have been avoided by just having supplies there on you. We're going to talk about the next slide, the importance of demand and timing. I feel like this ties into hot topics. I'm going to let you cover this one, D.
Okay. So, for example, I remember when I used to get a good deal on like Timberland shoes, and I might get them during the summertime because most people, especially in the South, don't wear them during the summertime, right? So I would buy them and then try to move them during the summer, and they wouldn't sell, right? I had to wait till the winter. And what I realized is that if I have the cash flow, I buy them and sit on them and wait till winter time and then sell them. Versus me trying to sell them during the summer and having to take a pay cut or discount them because they're not the right season, right?
True.
And that's usually what happens because it's not a demand at the time for them. People usually, especially if you don't have the income, you rather wait till the season to buy. Most people don't buy shorts during the wintertime, right? But that's when you buy your best deal. So that's why you have to get your capital up to be able to sit on certain merchandise for the right opportunity to maximize your sales. And that's been one of the things I've learned over the years.
That's amazing. I would just add on to what he's saying. The normal person isn't buying a fan during the winter. The normal person isn't buying a heater during the summer. However, come that clearance time, right around fall and spring, these particular stores start to mark it off. So it's like, hey, you may be able to get that Dyson fan for half off, or you may be able to get that Dyson heater for half off because you're getting it in the right season when it's low demand and when it's a high supply and low demand, because they're trying to offload their merchandise. Same with apparel, and then other, let's say, toys during the winter, they may be high price, but come summer and spring, these different retailers are trying to get rid of these toys. But if you are a knowledgeable seller and you know, well, this item will make me $50, but it's $15, but you may have to wait 10 months. If you're catching it in January after the holiday sale, you may have to wait that 10 to 11 months to resell it for max value. But that's why demand refers to how much buyers are willing to pay for an item and how many people are interested. Because if you got something that is low supply but very high demand, people are willing to pay. The more in demand the item is, the higher you can sell the price for. And then the most important thing is timing. You don't want to sell something that is a low selling item during a low selling period. I noticed for myself last year during hurricane season, I had generators selling left and right, but right after hurricane season, I would maybe sell a generator here and there. That's why timing. So once you start to get to the making your first 10,000, then you start to, okay, well, I can sit and hold this item versus trying to make your first $1,000, because on this journey of buying and selling on eBay, we want to get you best items that sell fast to get you to your first 1,000. And that's the topic on importance of demand and importance of timing when you're selling on eBay. Secondly, if you got a good moving item that is a high demand, low supply, good pricing, the last thing you want to do is list it wrong. If you have a poor description, as mentioned before, you're either going to get a return or you may not even get to sell in the worst case because it's poorly listed. let's say the example of a Honda generator, 3400 cc used. If I put red generator, the majority of eBay buyers will have no clue that my listing even exists when they're searching through the eBay platforms, because it's not thoroughly described in the title or in the listing. Or if I just put a generic picture of some generator, this customer's not going to know what they get. But if I go ahead, take the time to thoroughly take pictures, because you get 24 pictures, thoroughly take the time to get pictures from all sides. That way the buyer knows exactly what they're getting. Consistent listing habits are essential for eBay sellers as they help maintain the visibility and improve the sales. Listing habits refer to your frequency, your timing, your listing, making sure that you list frequently and then you list correctly. The last thing that you want is to have an item that does not match the description. You said that it's brand new, but it's really used in the description, or you said it's used in the description, but it's really a brand new item. Now you're losing out on money. Anything you want to add to visibility, sales, and listing?
Definitely maximize your characters in your title as best as possible, right? So I think that the number is 80 characters.
Mhm.
And so, for example, if I was selling shoes, I'm gonna say shoes and sneakers in the title,
Hmm.
right? And just use up much of it as you can. So if it's new, you put new in the box, new with tags, pre-owned, whatever the case may be, and that gives you more keywords in the title alone. And then, of course, with your item specific, you don't want to put any fluff cap inside of the item specific. Just fill out as much as you can and keep it moving, and that's going to give you a better chance than some of your competition who's just throwing something against the wall and hoping it sticks.
Like that, because we're trying to get you on the process of listing appropriately, listing the right information. So that way, when a buyer comes, because they're looking at you as if you are the eBay expert, when you may just be new to the platform, you may just have started, you have your two coaches who are helping you in comparison to somebody who isn't, and they just put something up there. And again, you have that eBay customer who's asking you 1,000+ questions because your listing and your description and your title doesn't thoroughly detail all the information. So they may be asking you, is it brand new? Is it used? Does it have any scratches, any defects? Just basic questions that could easily be answered if your description thoroughly details it. Or is this a fake pair of shoes? Is this a new pair of shoes? Can you look at the tag? So as you get more acclimated in your niche, because that's what we're going to talk about next, you'll understand what you should talk about. Let's say myself, I know most electronics in and out. And then same way with these cases, he knows apparel. He can tell you real, fake. He can tell you how to list an item and how to best describe an item. That's listing habits. I don't want to spend too much time talking about the topic of listing habits. I'm going to talk about something that is near dear to me. So after you have an item that is in high demand, low supply, good price with a good description, we're going to talk about, how do you want to list it? Do you want to list it as a buy it now? Do you want to list it as offer accepted? Or do you want to do auction style, like throw it up with the wind and then let the people decide? When you're selling on eBay, one important decision you'll need to make is your selling format. The three mains are: buy it now. A potential buyer can take your offer, what your price, have it set up, and buy it at that price. You can give them to the opportunity to offer accepted, meaning they may not like your price, they may be trying to haggle with you. So you give them the opportunity to negotiate. They can negotiate the price and then you can counter offer, or you can throw it up with the wind and leave it up to the people and do auction style, meaning whatever the highest bidder bids at the end of the auction is what your item will sell for. Buy it now allows buyers to purchase the item immediately at a fixed price that you deem valued, that you deem worthy, while offers lets buyers make an offer that seller can either accept or decline. You don't have to take the offer if you don't like it. And then auction allows buyers to bid on items with the highest bidder winning. With auctions, you could underbid yourself and you could overbid yourself. An item that you may have thought would have sold for less could sell for more. And then the item that you thought that would have sold for more could sell for less. And then as an eBay seller, you have to be open to taking that loss or taking. It's like playing cards. You got some input that you want to add on that, D?
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, my favorite is Make Me an Offer. That's one that I use on my platform. I have about 1,900 listens at the moment,
Wow.
and that gives my customer the opportunity to save a little bit of money. Right? It gives them a edge where now they're able to use that money for something else that they want to purchase, because I always give myself some wiggle room to come down. So anybody who's watching this, you go to my page, Shoe Solution 6, no matter what I'm selling, you can make me an offer, and then I have the opportunity to counter three different times. If I want to, I can go back and forth, and usually it's a 50% chance I might just accept your offer, because I have to respect your offer. So sometimes if I decline your offer, I can wait a few minutes, a few hours to go by, and I say, you know what, I should have took that offer.
Mhm.
Right. So that's just one of my favorites, and just play with it. Once you get started, do not be timid to try all three, and see what works best for you and your products that you're selling.
In relation to all three, with the auction style, it gives you the opportunity to set bid limits, meaning if the person, this is what you want the bid to start at. So you may have $1,000 item, but somebody think they're finna get $1,000 items for 500. That's not the bid limit. The bid limit is whatever you set it at. So you can set it at 750, and that'll be the barrier of entry. However, when you do have an auction, you can include for an additional, I think, 50 cent, the opportunity to buy it now. So you may have that auction that's going, that's going, that's going. And then now that it's getting closer to your buy it now price, a potential buyer may be interested in, okay, before it gets any higher, let me go ahead and buy it now. Similar with a buy it now. If you have a buy it now, you can set it at one price and then allow offers. In the same way, you can allow offers to a barrier entry minimum, that if you got a $50 item, somebody try to give you $10 because you have a barrier of entry of 30, they're going to automatically get declined, because at bare minimum what you want. So for myself, I usually try to do a 10% margin. So if I got a $50 item, I may do a wiggle room of $5. If I have a $100 item, I usually may do the difference of $10. So somebody could offer me $90, but if I got a $100 item and they're trying to offer me $40, immediately decline, immediately decline. And that's the difference between buy it now offers and auction style. And then I'm gonna let you hit on this one, D, as
All right.
the apparel expert. And we're gonna talk about niche, learning everything about your niche. I'm a firm believer, if you know something, if you have an expertise in something, a hobby, that using eBay as the cross platform. So this is what you know, this is eBay, and then you selling on eBay what you already know. But again, I'm gonna let D tackle this one.
All right. All right. So having a niche inside of the eBay platform is very important. Usually most people come onto the platform and they call you a everything seller, right? You pretty much list anything you can find and you put it on the website. And as time goes on, the plan is to specialize in something, right? Pick one item and become very knowledgeable in it. It
Mhm.
makes it easier for you to list the item, for one thing. It makes it easier for you to ship the item is another point, because everything is a time of the essence. And if you want the best results, you need to be knowledgeable in that item, because you will be able to fill out the item specifics, where that's going to help with the Google search, right? Because sometimes people are looking for an item and they're not just going straight to eBay. They went to Google first and they said, you know what, I want to look for a red polo shirt um, with 100% cotton, right?
Mm.
And it goes straight to eBay, or it may go to a different platform. But you putting in those item specifics make a difference. So that's why having your niche is so important. And when it comes to storing, once you're in a particular industry, you know exactly how to wrap those iPhones together. How much bubble wrap is going to take for each iPhone, how many are fit in one container, right? Or on one shelf. That way you can project, how much you can buy or how much this space will hold. When you're starting to
Yeah.
buy everything, then you start to move in like chaos, right? It started to take you longer to ship one item where you could have shipped 7 items on the other side if you were just focusing on your niche. And usually what I do is learn the niche in your downtime, right? Um, Off business hours. So maybe on the weekend, maybe just dedicate 1 hour a week into doing research. So for example, Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren have a brand that's been around for decades, but he also have clothing that's extremely expensive, right? You know, you have Purple Label and different styles inside of his brand. And
Mm.
what you could do is see one pair of jeans that went for $80, and then another pair of jeans that's worth $500. But you wouldn't know it until you start doing your research. And what you don't want to do is come across a good item and sell it for too cheap,
Mm.
right? So you can always look at your sold items up under the eBay platform, not just the one that you have sold, but what has previously sold by other sellers. And it'll give you a good indication of so many different brands, like Patagonia brand, or Tory Burch, right? You know, sometimes you can be in a place and you just think it's a simple design, and usually some of the most expensive brands you won't even know
Bingo.
what it is, because they don't even put a symbol on the front of their shirt. You got to look inside of the tag, right? And just do your research. Every like I said, once a week at the minimum, 1 hour a week or 1 hour a day. Just start to learn a niche you want to get into. If that's vintage items, that could be electronics. So I give you a perfect example. Most people think that having a VCR and DVD combo is laughable, right? They think, okay, well, it's outdated. But
Yeah.
the average DVD VCR combo is selling right now for about $50 on eBay.
If not
No,
more.
$30, $80. So you can buy these from a yard sale for $5, $10 easily, especially if you got the remote with it. You know, just by learning that niche in electronics, you're able to pick up vintage items for dirt cheap, put them on this platform, and I mean, not triple your money, 4 or 5 times your money easy. So that's it on information that I want to kind of dial in on niche. We'll probably go back and talk about this subject more in the next class.
Yeah, that was amazing, especially the tidbit with VCRs. What I would say in relation to learning your niche is that intersection of what you already know and then listening on eBay, because the topic of electronics is one category on the eBay platform. However, you have subtopics where it could be computer electronics, it could be mobile electronics, it could be tablets, it could be earpieces, headphones. Electronics is so diverse. Same way with car parts. There are eBay sellers who are dedicated to exclusively only selling car parts, meaning they specialize in the niche of selling headlights. They buy and they sell headlights. That's all they do. And they've been able to establish $1 million eBay brand buying and selling exclusively only headlights, because now they're the expert. They're the go-to. If you're looking for somebody for headlights, you're going to go to the headlight eBay store. Similar with other car parts, stickers. If you become the niche in selling stickers, you may have 6-foot, 12-foot cutouts because this is what you do and you're aligning yourself with the eBay platform, you become the best at it. And I say that for every tradesman or every niche, every hobby, because you could be a plumber, you know the plumber tools, you know the plumber trades, because you understand what most plumbers need. You're able to either source these from your network of plumbers and then relist them because they're hard to find items, or you just know the items that are necessary, taking those items that are necessary, putting them on the eBay platform, and then reselling them. Because once you know the item, as D had mentioned, you know what it's worth. You look at it, you already know the value. You know that somebody's lowballing themselves. It's $100 item, but they're trying to sell it for $25. But if you didn't know no better, you'll walk right past it. You're like, oh, $25, that's too much. When as a knowledgeable expert, $25, that's a steal. I'm gonna put that in my bucket right now. I'm gonna grab this because you know what it's worth. And yeah, you may miss out on some items, as trying to be a jack of all trades. It's like I could buy this, that, and the third, but I look at it as not every opportunity is right. You have to learn to say no to some things, because the money that you invest into an item that you have no clue about is tied up when that money could have easily been purchased to buy an item that you are niche specific in and you know about continuously. So now you're buying fast moving items because you know that niche versus trying to buy something that you heard is profitable, but now you're stuck with it because you bought a bad version, because again, that wasn't your niche. And I'm a firm believer of you live and you learn, but you earn when you learn. So you earn when you learn your niche. D knows when to buy Timberlands, what time to buy Timberlands, the value of the Timberlands, because this is his niche. And we're going to talk about this more throughout the month of June on why niching is important, how to get better in your niche, because once you get into your niche, you should easily be making $1,000. That's our segment on eBay entrepreneurs. Anything you want to add, D?
Hey, just get started. Put your first listing up today if you're watching this live or on the replay. Continue to catch us every week while we drop this good information, this game, the nuggets, the jewels, where you're gonna make your first $1,000 with eBay.
After you make your first $1,000, I want you to reach out to us because we're gonna congratulate you. And if you're not already, go to our YouTube channel at Dave What We Buy iPhones. I list the full recordings and then I list the segmented versions of all of our replays from the last 2 months of every eBay expert class that we've done. You can reach out to Sush Solution 6. You can reach out to D Mathis at Sush Solution 6 on all social media platforms if you have any eBay questions. And then likewise, like myself, you can reach out to me at We Buy iPhones LLC on most platforms. Send me a message saying eBay expert so that way I can filter you out from my iPhone customers. And I am more than happy to answer any eBay questions and steer you on the right direction, because I recollect on the same time well over 5 years ago when I first started the eBay journey, and I had no clue. And I wish I had somebody who was giving me expert advice on the platform of things that they wish they knew, things that they wish they didn't know. I had to learn the hard way. I was wasting money on just shipping everything priority or shipping everything via FedEx or UPS, not knowing there's a better way to do it. You're wasting time, because time is money. And we're here to save you time and expedite your journey. I wish everybody a happy Memorial Day. Y'all enjoy yourselves, and I look forward to our June sessions. And if y'all got any questions, again, reach out to us. Boom, recording.